Welcome to Short Takes here on Sparks 1524. I'm Nathaniel Miller. George Washington was the first President of the United States under the Constitution. However, another man held the title of President in 1776, and he also signed his name to the Declaration of Independence in spectacular fashion. John Hancock, whose name would go on to become synonymous with the word signature itself, was born in Braintree, later Quincy, Massachusetts, and grew up alongside a casual acquaintance named John Adams. Hancock began working in his Uncle Thomas's import business, which he then inherited upon his uncle's death in 1764. This positioned Hancock as one of the richest and most well-connected men in Massachusetts. The smoldering embers that would eventually explode into the American Revolution were lit when Parliament decided to recoup the cost of the recent French and Indian War. The British government invented a brand new power, one allowing them to levy direct taxes on the American colonies for the very first time, while also denying those colonists representation in the government that was trying to take their money. The First Continental Congress, called in 1774, drew up a petition to the king as loyal Englishmen, but these entreaties went nowhere, resulting in the Second Continental Congress convening in May of 1775. One of the Congress's first orders of business was electing a new president, and John Hancock was chosen by a unanimous vote to be president of the Second Continental Congress. Hancock presided over the adoption of the Declaration of Independence on the 4th of July, 1776. Although there was no formal signing ceremony when the Congress adopted the Declaration, Hancock, as President of Congress, signed the fair copy that went to the printer. The famous broadside version of the Declaration, known as the engrossed version, upon which all the signers affix their name, is the copy visitors see at the National Archives. This copy was signed on the 2nd of August, 1776 by all present at the Congress, including Hancock, whose signature dominates the document. American mythology states that Hancock wrote his signature so large because he wanted to ensure King George III could read it without using spectacles. Hancock spent the post-war years active in Massachusetts politics and business, but his health was failing. Even so, he watched with alarm as the fledgling nation faced the reality that its first formal government, the Articles of Confederation, was hilariously inadequate. One of his final public acts was to join Samuel Adams in urging Massachusetts to ratify the Constitution of the United States, leading to Massachusetts becoming the sixth state of the Union when it ratified the Constitution in 1788. Hancock died in 1793, his legacy almost completely overshadowed by George Washington and John Adams. However, President John Hancock of the Second Continental Congress effectively became the United States' first head of state that 4th of July in 1776. Although he never held the awesome powers of the office of President of the United States as created by the Constitution, John Hancock is, and always will be, the first president of an independent American government. This has been Short Takes from Sparks 1524. Have a great patriotic day and go do some great things.